Neil, it's a tough defeat out here at Roots Hall today. What did you make of it?
Southend were better than us in every facet of the game. Pretty much every aspect of the game they were better than us. So we got what we deserved today. There's no doubt about that. Disappointing because, well, more than disappointed, let's be honest, absolutely, devastated for the people involved that we've now slipped into the relegation zone, which is something we've managed to steer ourselves away from for a long part of the last couple of months. And we've come into it at completely the wrong time, and now we find ourselves out of our hands. So I'm angry. I'm angry about losing the game. I'm angry about the level of performance. And we've all got to really take collective responsibility for that level of performance, because there's no way at all that we can accept some of the goals that we conceded, the way that we played, how poor we were at certain basic aspects of the game. And I'll always be open and honest about what that looks like. Now, we have got to galvanise ourselves very, very quickly, because although it's out of our hands, we have to do our side of the bargain and give ourselves a fighting chance next week against Halifax. But we've got to have a real, commitment from the group that they're all fighting to try and keep Wealdstone Football Club in the league, and we've got to ensure that that is something that's really on evidence and shown, because if you were looking at that today, I'm not sure you'd necessarily come to that conclusion.
There was a slight onslaught start of the second half just before the goal. Did it feel like that took the wind out of the sails?
Yeah, look, ultimately, Southend, we're in a situation where we know Southend, with the crowd that they've got, the momentum they're trying to build, they're fighting for something just like we're fighting for something, but they're fighting for something on the back of probably winning more games of football over the course of the season. So we're coming at it from good moments this season. Ultimately, when you find yourself in a situation we currently do, is that there's not enough good thoughts and memories for players to come into games like this believing that they can go and do what we're asking them to go and do, which is win a game of football against Southend. So what you need to do is get through those moments when they're difficult moments. We conceded too early again from something that we're really disappointed about. It's a cross into the box that we haven't defended well enough, and it's an easy goal that we don't get the opportunity to score those type of goals. And then you could say similar. The second shot, obviously, he's got a block, but it's landed nicely for the player to finish, and it's a great finish. But you'd question why he's free in the box, and given time to take 2 touches in the box. And then the third goal's an absolute calamity that I'd need to watch again, because these are goals that we don't get against other teams. So we've really got to find a solution to seeing the people that want to stand up and try and keep Wealdstone Football Club in the league next season, and as in next week for next season, and we've got to see that this week.
A word on the fans today. Travelled well. The fight next week ultimately will be for them.
Well, ultimately I've looked at the way the fans were today, and after getting beat 3-0, we're very lucky that they stuck with us. I thought they were magnificent. They sang for us. We went over and applauded and apologised, because they've gone in their large numbers to Boston last week, turned up for the home game in large numbers against Maidenhead, and then obviously today against Southend, and they've stuck with the group because they understand the importance of what next week is. And even though it's out of our hands now, we're going to need them to stick with us to try and give us a fighting chance to win our game against Halifax, and then try and hope for results elsewhere. But special mention to them, because they were absolutely fantastic, and they have been for a large part of the time that I've been in. So we can only apologise, and this is why it hurts more than ever, is that the 1 point we've got from the last 3 fixtures, we've probably run into a period of time where energy levels of certain players, fitness levels of certain players are not where we need them to be to get ourselves that final result that we needed to get ourselves over the line. And it is no excuse, but there's 3 or 4 players that we know are playing on the pitch today who shouldn't be, and there's 3 or 4 players that we've got named on the bench who can't come on, and a couple of players that have come on who probably shouldn't come on, but they're willing to do it for the cause, because we understand how important these couple of fixtures are. But we've got to dust ourselves down, because once we put those 11 players on the pitch and have 11 players on at any one time, they've got they've got to play at a level that gives us an opportunity to win the game, and today we weren't like that.